The next part of the lecture is threads. So threads are low cost alternative to a process for certain kind of concurrent application. Each process has an address space and a single thread of control. In many cases, it is desirable to have a multiple threads of control that share a single address space but run in quasi-parallel as if they were in fact separate processes. Traditionally, there is a single thread of execution per process. So, thread is basic unit of CPU utilization which consists of program counter, register state and stack space. The threads share with its peer threads its code section, data section and operating system resources, collectively known as a task. A traditionally or a heavyweight process is equal to the task with one thread. In multi-threading environment, operating system supports a multiple threads of execution within a single process. The process is defined as a unit of resource allocation and unit of protection. So these are associated with a process with following 2 points. The first one is virtual address space holding the process image, and second, protected access to the processor, file and input output resources. Within a process, there may be one or more threads, each with the following. The first one is a thread execution state, that is running, ready, suspended, etc. And second is process control block, that is PCB, for each thread for saving the thread context. Now consider a web server application. A web server may have a several client accessing it. One solution is to have the server run as a single process that accepts the request. When the server receives a request, it creates a separate process to service the request. This approach is quite slow as each process has its own code, data and file. So it is more efficient to create a thread to service the request. Multiple threads created by a process share a data, code and the files. So in multiple thread task, while one server thread is blocked and waiting and a second thread in the same task can run. The cooperation of multiple threads in the same job confers higher throughput and improve the performance. The applications that require sharing a common buffer, that is producer consumer, the benefit from thread utilization. The thread provide a mechanism that allows sequential processes to make a blocking system call while also achieving a parallelism. The kernel supported threads, user level threads supported above the kernel via set of library call at the user level, and hybrid approach implements both user level and kernel supported threads. So this diagram shows the multiple threads within a task. So the multiple threads created by a process share the code, data and files. Now there are some benefits of the thread. The first benefit is it takes less time to create a thread in an exciting process than to create a new process. It improves the responsiveness. Second benefit is it takes less time to terminate a thread than the process. Third one, it takes less time to switch between two threads within the same process. Next one, threads share the memory and the resource of the process to which they belong, and it allows an application to have several different threads of activity within the same address space. And the last benefit is thread enhance the efficiency in communication, and they can interact with each other without the intervention of operating system. Next is inter-process communication. So the mechanism for the processes to communicate and to synchronize their actions. The message system, it consists of processes communicate with each other without resorting to shared variables. The IPC facility provides two operations: send and receive. Send means message size fixed or variable. If P and Q wish to communicate, then we need to establish a communication link between them, and second, exchange the message via send or receive. The implementation of the communication link is physical or logical. Physical means shared memory hardware bus. Logical means logical properties. So the processes running concurrently under the control of operating system may be independent processes or cooperating process. Independent processes do not interact with each other. Cooperating process can interact among themselves. A cooperating process can share the data with other process. The inter-process communication mechanism, that is IPC, allows communicating process to exchange the data and information. There are two methods of inter-process communication. Through shared memory and through message passing. In the shared memory inter-process communication, process can interact using a shared variable, and the process can exchange information by reading and writing the data using shared variable. When the message passing is used for the communication, processes send and receive the message instead of reading and writing the shared variable. Send and receive functions are implemented in operating system. So, there is a basic concept of inter-process communication and synchronization. The synchronization means it is often necessary when process communicate. The process are executed with unpredictable speed. To understand the concept of synchronization, consider the two processes P1 and P2. The P1 and P2 communicate through a shared buffer. First P1 write to the buffer, then second P2 read from the buffer. For the communication to work properly, it is necessary that P2 never reads data from the buffer if the buffer is empty, and P1 never write the data to the buffer if the buffer is full. So the synchronization can be viewed as a set of constraints on the ordering of event. The programmer employs a synchronization mechanism to delay execution of process in order to satisfy such a constraint. Next is the rest condition. Rest condition is a situation where two or more processes are reading or writing some shared data, and the final result depends on who runs precisely when. As a simple example is, consider an application in which the process P1 add 100 to the value of A and P2 subtract 100 from the value of A. Initial value of A is assumed to be 500. So the process P1 performs A plus 100 and P2 performs A minus 100. The evaluation of the statement A plus 100 requires three sub-steps. Read A, 100, add 100 to it, write the final value of A. Similarly, the evaluation of the statement A minus 100 requires three sub-steps. Now read A, subtract 100 from it and write the final value of A. So the process P1 and P2 are running concurrently. Now assume that there is a time step of the process P1 gets over after the execution of sub-steps. So read A, process P1 is preempted and the process P2 is taken up for the execution. So the race condition leads to inconsistent result. Without proper concurrency control, the concurrent process can cause inconsistency. There are two reasons for inconsistency: lost update problem and inconsistent read problem. So how to remove the race condition? The racing can be avoided by treating the three sub-steps, that is A plus 100 or A minus 100, as indivisible. That is, either all the three steps are executed without break or none is executed. Next is critical section. So consider the system of n process. Each process has critical section segment of code. The process may be changing common variable, updating table, writing file, etc. When one process in critical section, no other may be in its critical section. So critical section problem is to design a protocol to solve this. Each process must ask permission to enter a critical section in entry section. It may follow a critical section with exit section, then remainder section. So a shared resource, a shared variable or device is known as a critical resource. The portion of the problem that uses a critical resource is known as critical section of the program. It is necessary that only a program should be allowed to enter its critical section. In case of an input-output device, we want that only one process should have control over it. That is necessary for avoiding a rest condition. In case of shared memory, shared file or the shared anything, it is necessary to prohibit more than one process from reading and writing the shared data at the same time. This is also known as mutual exclusion. The mutual exclusion is a method of making sure that if one process is using a shared variable or a file, the other process will be excluded from doing the same thing. If we can find a method such that no two processes are ever in their critical section at the same time, we can avoid a race condition. So this diagram shows the entry section, critical section, exit section and remainder section. So solution to the critical section is mutual exclusion, progress and bounded waiting. Now the mutual exclusion means here it is a method of making sure that if one process is using a shared variable or a file, the other process will be excluded from doing the same thing. Mutual exclusion is implemented with the help of critical section. Critical section has to satisfy the following condition. The first one, no two processes may be simultaneously inside their critical section. No assumptions may be made about the relative process speeds or the number of CPU. No process running outside its critical section may block other process. No process should have to wait forever to enter its critical section. When no process is in a critical section, any process that requests entry to its critical section must be permitted to enter without delay, and a process remain inside its critical section for a finite time only. The progress, if no process is executing in its critical section and there exist some processes that wish to enter their critical section, then the selection of the process that will enter the critical section next cannot be postponed indefinitely. And the bounded waiting means a bound must exist on the number of time that other processes are allowed to enter their critical section after a process has made a request to enter its critical section before the request is granted.